Somewhere along the way, a lot of millennials learned how to keep going even when their body was quietly asking them to stop. Not dramatically, not in a way anyone else could see, just in small ways, like shoulders that never fully relax, a brain that keeps running checklists even while trying to rest, a constant low hum of pressure that feels like you're always slightly behind in life, even when you're doing everything you were told would work. And if this feels familiar, there's a reason. Many millennials grew up being handed two messages at the same time. One said, "Follow your passion. You can build a meaningful life." The other quietly whispered, "But you also need to survive rising costs, unstable careers, and a world that keeps shifting under your feet." That contradiction does something powerful inside the nervous system. It creates people who are deeply idealistic, but also chronically tired. Burnout for many millennials isn't just about working too much. It's about carrying invisible emotional math every single day. Your brain is constantly scanning. Am I moving forward fast enough? Am I falling behind financially? Did I choose the right career? Should I already have stability by now? That kind of mental scanning activates the same threat detection networks your brain uses to watch for danger. Over time, your body can start living in a low-grade survival mode. Breathing becomes slightly shallow. Sleep feels less restorative. Even moments of rest can feel oddly uncomfortable, like you should be doing something productive instead. And here's something most people misunderstand. What gets labeled as delayed adulthood is often not laziness or avoidance. It's caution. It's adaptation. It's a generation that watched economic crashes, student debt explode, housing become unpredictable, and job security shrink. All while being told adulthood was supposed to feel stable. So the nervous system learns to hesitate, to double-check, to keep options open, to delay big, irreversible decisions. That hesitation is actually a form of intelligence. Your brain is trying to protect you from committing fully to systems that have felt unreliable. There's also another layer people rarely talk about. Millennials were one of the first generations to grow up during the transition into constant digital comparison. Social media created an environment where timelines became visible. You don't just live your life. You watch thousands of other lives unfolding beside yours. And the human brain is wired for comparison as a survival tool. It constantly measures, am I safe? Do I belong? Am I falling behind my group? When that system is overloaded, it can create emotional fatigue that feels like you're carrying invisible weight. You may notice decision fatigue, motivation swings, or that strange feeling of being both ambitious and exhausted at the same time. But here's the reframe that often brings relief. The millennial nervous system is not broken. It is highly responsive to complexity. Many millennials developed strong emotional awareness, adaptability, creativity, and resilience because they had to constantly navigate uncertainty. That depth of awareness often creates people who care deeply about purpose, fairness, mental health, and building lives that feel meaningful, not just stable. Burnout, in many ways, is what happens when a deeply thoughtful generation tries to build a life inside systems that haven't fully caught up to their values or reality. Sometimes the fatigue isn't weakness. Sometimes it's the cost of carrying vision in a world that keeps changing faster than anyone prepared you for. And if you've ever felt like you're behind, it might be worth gently asking whether you were measuring yourself against timelines that were never designed for the world you actually inherited. I'm curious. When you think about your own path into adulthood, do you feel more pressure from expectations or more exhaustion from trying to keep up with uncertainty? If this felt familiar, you're not alone. You can share your experience in the comments. People often find relief just realizing how many others feel this too. And if you appreciate conversations that make everyday psychology feel human and understandable, you're always welcome to like and subscribe.